Hello, this is a video my son requested, my second oldest son. He's in the military out there fighting for the country, somewhere out there in the middle of the ocean somewhere. I'm not sure where he's located. He can't tell me too much about it. But anyway, he asked me to make a video stating what I remember or what I was told from my father about our family history. So I'll try to make it short, but basically, Cherokee Nation, I guess you would say. My father's name is Mills Chance. His father's name is Jake Chance. And Jake Chance's father's name was Jerry Chance. Now, I guess you could go back to around the 1830s. That's when a lot of Trail of Tears was taking place. The Cherokee Indians is what the heritage was. And they lived up near what would be today is known as Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, soldiers run around, gathering them up, marching them out to Oklahoma, Trail of Tears. Know the history on that. Now, the great-great-grandfather was called White Owl. That was Jerry Chance's grandfather. Well, they marched a bunch of them out there to Oklahoma, and in the winter at that, and a lot of them died from starvation, exposure, gave them blankets with diseases on them. It was horrific. But anyway, Jerry Chance had to be around 13. That wasn't his name at the time. I don't know his real name given to him, but his grandfather was White Owl, which was Cherokee Indian. Well, on the arduous journey to Oklahoma, the Trail of Tears, everybody died. The grandfather, the mothers, everybody died on that trip except him, which was Jerry Chance. And the only reason he chose the name Jerry Chance is because there was one soldier that showed him a little kindness and let him hold a shovel to bury his mother and slip him a little food. And that soldier's name was Jerry. And then, so anyway, that's how he took that name, Jerry Chance. Now, they marched them all out the Trail of Tears. Everybody died. And the only thing Jerry had to his name was a knife. That was it, the blanket. So anyway, they marched him out the Trail of Tears. He buried his family along the way. He get to Oklahoma, he's by himself, everybody's dead in his immediate family, and he's decided, hey, I'm going back home, which was today known as Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, 13, 14-year-old boy. He starts his way back to Chattanooga, which was what would have been called that day. He knew how to get home. So he make his way all the way back home by himself, hiding, traveling at night, what have you. And he gets close to where he was raised, where he's familiar with. Well, there's a farmer there, plantation owner, owned slaves, and they moved in on the river down there somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. And this farmer, this slave owner, has a slave that he's had children by. And the local clan members didn't like the fact that this white plantation owner treated this slave like a wife and was raising children. They had two daughters. One was named Hannah, and I can't remember the other one's name. So anyway, the clan is attacking the plantation when Jerry is back in the area. He comes back. and they killed her husband, kill all the hands, the help slaves, and they were, working their way up to the daughters, which were going to rape them, kill them. But Jerry, with just that knife, goes around in the dark, and he killed every one of those Klan members. Every one of them. Well, by the time he got finished, the only person that was left living was Hannah Chance. Okay, well, somehow or another, Hannah and Jerry get married. They fall in love. He takes her in marriage and takes her last name, which is Chance. Well, her father, who was fairly wealthy, being that he's died and everybody that's dead except her, everything goes to Hannah. Now she's got a husband. Jerry Chance owns some of the land that he was raised on that they forced him out of. Okay. Jerry Chance and Hannah Chance, I know of 3 sons they had. Jake Chance, which was my grandfather, Alan Chance, and Virgil Chance. They raised these 3 boys up. Now, bear in mind, Hannah could pass for white. And then Jerry was an Indian. But Hannah could pass for white. So they succeed. They acquire her father's wealth, and he actually owned land in Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida, not counting the land that they were on there in Chattanooga area. So Hannah was big on education. She made sure all her children could read and write. And when they got a certain age, Jerry sends his sons out to cultivate the land in these different states. So it's in Virgil to North Carolina, take over that land. Sends Jake to Georgia, which is up in Burke County, Georgia, to cultivate that land. And I think he sent Alan to Florida. Alan lost a leg some kind of way trying to hop a train. So I really don't know a lot of history about it. But I know Jake Chance because that was my granddaddy. Jake Chance meets a Creek Indian, I think she was, and marries her. Her name was Leela Gibson. They call her Scrap. That was my grandma. So you got Jerry Chance, White Owl, Jerry Chance. Jerry Chance makes Jake, Allen, and Virgil. Those 3 get sent down to handle properties in different states. Jake Chance comes to Georgia. I'm told he was a preacher, and he was a little unorthodox, I think. He's raised in the Indian ways because of Jerry Chance. So in the Indian way, the women did a lot of the labor, the work, hard work, farming, or whatever that was. But anyway, he had numerous children everywhere. Jake Chance did. I can't even name them all, but I know Lula, Mills, Henry Herbert, Viola, Ardeen, Rosabelle, Freddie Mae. Jake Chance had numerous children. And Mills Chance, which was my dad. And so that's basically how that came to be as far as the family history I know up until nowadays. Now, just to talk about my father's life would be amazing. My father was born in 1929, and he was nothing short of amazing. And the problem is, he lived in southeast Georgia, where we live at now. I still live in the same area. And to be able to read and to be strong-minded wasn't a good combination in Georgia. I think my father had a couple of brothers lynched, and he witnessed that as a little boy. Henry Herbert I think it broke him in a lot of ways that he was just dangerous. But anyway, you had to flee the South if you were going to survive. If you had any kind of heart, you wouldn't bow down. You really was going to be targeted. So Henry Herbert moved to New York City in 1930s and 40s. My daddy, he went off to World War II, fought in that. In 1943, he didn't come back to Georgia. He came to New York, lived with Henry Herbert. My daddy couldn't walk. He had some kind of ailment at the age till 17. He couldn't walk. He trained a bull to go everywhere he wanted to go. The bull's name was Doss. And he had this bull train to take him everywhere he'd go. Or he'd walk on his hands because his legs were no good. Somehow or another, Henry Herbert got that fixed, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, he trained that bull to ride him. And Daddy told me he sold the bull because his mama needed some teeth, false teeth. So he sold the bull, got his mama's teeth, was able to walk, went in the military. He actually saved his whole platoon, but you wouldn't even know that. I remember asking my daddy one time, he got sick, and I said, Daddy, why don't you go to the VA? You're a soldier. He said, boy, I ain't going in there. Them folks will give you something just to watch and see how I get you. I don't go to the VA. He would not go to the VA. But I guess, in the 40s and stuff like that, that was a different world. I can't even imagine the stuff he went through and the hardships that he had to endure. So, he lived in New York for 22 years, New York City. Owned businesses, hotels. Showed me pictures of 11 Cadillacs. He bought him a brand new Cadillac every 2-3 years. He bought him a brand new Cadillac. And so he did well up there. And then in 1965 or so, something drastically happened where some men attacked him. Henry Herbert, his brother, who did not play the radio. I think they killed a bunch of folks. And Daddy had to leave New York and come back down to Georgia in 1965. So he sold everything he had, moved back down here. And, it's easier to see danger coming when you're in the country. Where we're from, we only got one red light. In New York City, there's people everywhere. So down here, I guess they figured, hey, you come at me, I can see you down here. And so he moved back to Georgia in 1965, bought a brand new Ford Fairlane Galaxy, or whatever it was, brand new car, drove it off showroom floor, and moved back to Georgia. He had an amazing life, though. But anyway, that's family history as far as I know. Started with White Owl, Cherokee Indian, Jerry Chance, Trail of Tears, all, and that's where I know.